Breaking news coming in, shifting focus as U.S. trade negotiators will be in India tonight. The U.S. trade talks will resume from tomorrow. Remember, Donald Trump has softened his position twice in the last week, posting on social media about his friendship with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, even saying that he's not worried about the India-US relationship. That's the big piece of news that's coming in, where it seems that the India-US trade talks are now on track, with the negotiator set to be in India tonight. I'm joined by my colleague Aman Sharma on the broadcast. So Aman, clearly after a lot of bad blood, a lot of war of words between the two sides, now it seems brass tacks, the entire trade deal between India and the United States on track when it comes to ironing out all those issues, when it comes to achieving a free trade agreement.
Well, yes, Ayushman, see, things have become conciliatory over the last couple of weeks, especially after this social media, I would say, exchange also between Donald Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, both sides saying that they are positively looking at a trade deal. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal also said that by November, we may get the first tranche of the trade deal done, and that was the instruction given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump when they had last met earlier this year in the US. US trade negotiating team coming to India, positive development, because this team was supposed to come on August 25, then the visit was put off, but now this team coming and talks happening between both sides could lead to some forward progress. India has been saying that it wants a trade deal, but no sign on the dotted line as the US wants. So what negotiations will happen remain to be seen. But so far, after the bonhomie seen between Donald Trump and Narendra Modi over the last 2 weeks, messages being exchanged, also both leaders saying that they look forward to speaking to each other over the phone in the coming weeks. I think positive momentum coming here towards the trade negotiations also. And let's see what these trade talks result in when they begin tomorrow.
Right, and Aman, at the same time, this is clearly an indication that Trump's back was against the wall, given the fact that his tariff flexing has not really worked to significantly change the global economic dynamics in favor of the United States. And moreover, we saw all those optics coming in from Tianjin, where Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin and Prime Minister Modi were were showing so much bonhomie with each other, trying to ease out the tensions between the three sides. The troika that emerged from Tianjin clearly had an impact on Donald Trump.
Well, it seems so, Ayushman. See, to the credit of India and to the credit of the Prime Minister, I would say that India has not said anything, which should offend America. It is something India has maintained a very pragmatic, a very courteous tone towards the US, despite 50% tariffs being imposed on us, and never have any Indian government minister or the Prime Minister said something which is offensive towards the US. And I think this approach, and especially Prime Minister's messaging when he was at the SCO summit meeting Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping, and those visuals which had come, especially that car ride with Vladimir Putin, when both the leaders drove in the car of Mr. Putin. Also, when they reached the venue, they were in talks for almost 45 minutes. That I think sent the signal to the US as well that India is not going to give up on Russia or Russian oil purchases just because America wants us to do so. Russia remains a close strategic partner. The Prime Minister also said this at the SCO summit, and that I think has prompted maybe a reassessment of the situation from the US side. US negotiating team now returning to India for talks on the trade deal seems to be a very positive development, which is coming after as I said, the bonhomie seen over the last fortnight between both Donald Trump and Narendra Modi.
Right, and Aman, at the same time, Trump's language, calling India a dead economy, his several satellite voices around him saying that the United States will wreck the Indian economy if they don't stop buying Russian oil. This very, mercurial language coming in from the United States, it clearly didn't help the diplomatic ties. But I think Trump also is realizing that when it comes to the trade relationship between India and the United States, that's something that needs to be protected given the geopolitical forces surrounding the United States. Clearly, at the same time, Donald Trump needs a win on the international stage, given the difficulties he's facing back home domestically.
Well, clearly, Ayushman, I think the tone has certainly softened when it comes to Donald Trump. Yes, he's still upset. I think he's been saying that also, that he's not happy with India buying Russian oil. But despite that, he has been mentioning Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a very dear friend. He has said that I really value the India-US strategic relationship, and we would like to take it forward. We would like everything will get okay. We are not happy with this Russian oil tariffs, but Russian oil India is buying, and that is why the secondary tariffs. But I think India has also adopted a conciliatory tone post what Mr. Trump said. So I think both sides are trying to arrive at an understanding What that understanding finally will be, we'll have to wait and see. But both the sides seem engaged in this. And, Sergio Gore's recent statement also, Ayushman, very clearly said that, President Trump also looks forward to coming for the Quad Summit. And he's very much committed to meeting the Quad leaders. I think also raising these hopes that once Sergio Gore is here as the US ambassador to India, maybe these tensions will get ironed out and we may have a better cordial relationship between India and the US as it has been in the earlier months we have seen. But last 2-3 months have been up and down. But I think now with the trade negotiations being on track, as Piyush Goyal had also recently said that both the sides are very satisfied with the progress of the trade talks. So I think these are very positive signals. Let's wait and see what these negotiations now throw up in the coming days.
Right, but a strategy has to be in place given the fact that we're dealing with a very mercurial US president in this stage. Thank you, Aman, for decoding that for us.